Justice Department files reveal the hidden figure who gave Jeffrey Epstein what he wanted most: access to Bill Gates. Bill Gates's reputation just took another hit. But this time, the story isn't about Gates directly. It's about the woman inside his circle who made it possible for a convicted sex offender to gain his trust. Meet Melanie Walker. She's a Seattle doctor who worked at the Gates Foundation and later in Bill Gates's private office. For nearly 30 years, she was also close to Jeffrey Epstein. Walker says she first met Epstein in the early 1990s at the Plaza Hotel in New York. She claims Donald Trump introduced them. They chatted about modeling for Victoria's Secret, but Epstein had different plans. He told her to forget modeling and pursue medical school instead. She did. They kept in touch for decades. Epstein even made himself her science advisor, staying woven into her professional life. By 2006, Walker was working at the Gates Foundation. She befriended Boris Nikolic, who was Bill Gates's chief science advisor. In 2009, she invited Nikolic to lunch with a specific goal. She spent the meal praising Epstein as the man who changed her life. She downplayed his 2008 conviction for soliciting a minor for prostitution. By December, Nikolic met Epstein in person. For Epstein, Bill Gates was the ultimate prize, a billionaire with a global health foundation and massive influence. Walker became his backdoor into that world. In January 2011, she set up a meeting. She emailed Gates saying Epstein was one of my closest friends. She talked about his philosophy: only do what makes you happy. Then she added something startling: the world's most gorgeous people hang around Jeffrey. Gates met Epstein multiple times from 2011 to 2014 at Epstein's New York townhouse. They talked about philanthropy. Gates didn't realize he was being slowly infiltrated by someone using his own confidant as the key. By 2017, Walker had moved to Gates's private office. That's when their relationship became sexual. And that's when Walker started confiding in Epstein about what was happening between them. In July 2017, from London, Walker texted Epstein that Gates was very gross and not the person people think. She said she felt trapped. She described Gates as a huge distraction. But here's where it gets darker. Epstein wasn't just listening. He was strategizing with her. In August, they discussed coded phrases to use in messages to Gates so he wouldn't forward them. Epstein suggested she tell Gates, "Going to miss our hangar meetings." Walker was hesitant. "He might freak out," she said. Epstein refined it further. She replied, "Perfect." This was calculated manipulation. Walker's lawyer later described her as a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein in a coercive relationship spanning decades. She had a prior history of abuse. Epstein had shown her how to manipulate powerful men. Gates says he wasn't aware of the real relationship between Walker and Epstein. His team claims Epstein was encouraging Walker to pursue Gates sexually. That's a level of manipulation most people can't comprehend. This story reveals Epstein's playbook. He'd find trusted people already close to targets. Then he'd work through them. He exploited their relationships, their vulnerabilities, their need to belong. Walker wasn't his only gateway. Steven Sinofsky, a former Microsoft executive and Walker's partner, also had ties to Epstein. Epstein helped him negotiate a separation from Gates's office. Multiple paths in. The Gates Foundation launched its own investigation into its Epstein ties. Those investigators asked specifically about Walker and her relationship with Gates. The probe continues. Answers are still being sought. Epstein was arrested in July 2019 on federal sex trafficking charges. He died in his jail cell a month later, but his ability to manipulate had already done its damage across decades. Walker is now 54 years old, a professor at UW Medicine. She largely stayed off the public radar until these Justice Department files came out. Her lawyer asked for her name to be redacted, but the documents remained. So why does this matter now? Because it shows how someone like Epstein operated. He didn't need direct access. He needed trusted insiders. People like Melanie Walker became the keys that unlocked billionaire circles. Bill Gates appears before Congress this week. He'll be questioned about these files. His reputation, already damaged, will face even more scrutiny. The story isn't over. More facts will emerge. More people will ask questions.